Nick Mason said it was his favorite album of that they did, which I thought that was a rather surprising thing. And I think he has a touring band called Saucer Full of Secrets now. So
Oh, okay.
and even Roger Waters joined in on one of their shows recently. So or a couple of years ago before everything went to hell, you know. And the last time we were talking about Piper at the Gates of Dawn, how the opening song, or no, not the opening one, the Lucifer Sam sounded like a TV theme song and stuff like that, you know?
Yes, yeah, like Courageous Cat and Minnie Mouse or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. And this one is very similar, at least in the opening, I thought, and I kind of wondered if that's what they were thinking or something. I don't know.
I love how the because listen, I'm if you want to, I guess I'm a kind of a fraudulent Floyd fan because I love pretty much from Dark Side of the Moon on,
right.
But I've of course dabbled, and so I actually listened to Saucer Full of Secrets this morning just to kind of brush up.
Brush up on it.
And I have to say, first of all, that beginning song, that intro is like so cool. It reminds me of something like other songs, and I can't think of it.
Right, yeah.
But this, if I'm not mistaken, this is the one where Gilmore is first introduced into the band because I guess what's his face, Sid Barrett, started to flake out.
Right. Already they had done the first album, and of course then they toured, all that sort of stuff, and he was starting to lose it. So they brought in Gilmore, who was already a friend of everybody involved, especially even Sid Barrett. And so I think I can't remember, he was in some other band and stuff like that. He had been a male model.
Really?
Stuff like, yes, yeah. Well, back in those
sense.
days,
he was
a good-looking guy.
Yeah,
he's probably the prettiest member of the band,
without a doubt. Yes. Like Waters was kind of pretty, but he had that Scottie Pippen creepy, Alice the Goon nose, that just runs for miles, right?
Yeah, it's like one of those statues on what was it, Easter Island?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And so he came in, and they had the idea said, okay, we're going to be a 5-member band, and Gilmore would be sort of be a backup for Sid when he flakes out. But that quickly just didn't work because Sid was pretty much gone. And he would just wander around the stage and stuff, and they never knew what he was going to do and all this stuff. And, of course, his songs got progressively weirder for them. And, in fact, there's only one song that's completely his, and it's the final one on this album. But he had other songs that later came out on solo albums of his. But Roger Waters and Gilmore were of the opinion that those songs were too disturbing.
Yes,
and that they were, it's kind of like releasing nude pictures of a movie star or something. But I disagree. I've heard them, and they're interesting. I thought they're good enough. I mean, it's just work and whatnot, but then again, he wasn't in control of himself. So
so one thing I think that differs from this album from the first one is you start to see the change. Like, it was still trippy as all hell, and they actually
psychedelic and all that.
And they recorded in EMI Studios, which of course Abbey Road Studios, Beatles, blah blah blah. And it was cool because one of the songs actually mentions Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, which I thought was cool. But you can see the bridge, you could see the lay. It's like you can see the work being built, that you can see them going where they end up on, Dark Side. You can see how that's happening because it's still trippy, but then there are certain melodic moments and even some guitars where you're like, oh, that's Gilmore, and
Gilmore's there.
Yes, you could see it. And then there were a couple of the ones with Sid where it's like, oh yeah, that's that British guy, because it's so funny.
Yeah, I know, he's very British.
Very British. I'm surprised he's not sipping tea while he's recording.
He might have been. I mean, of course, it's sad to be what was in the tea, but
right, yes, anything but tea.
Sid Barrett was actually a big influence on a lot of when the glam rock stuff happened with David Bowie and stuff. And David Bowie always says, yeah, he was a big influence on him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He was a huge star in Britain, you know, and the underground music scene is which Pink Floyd came from. And so he was kind of this cult figure for them. And of course he has that story that's so tragic and everything. And this is one of those things that people do where they romanticize mental illness and breakdowns and the suffering artist and everything. But, oh God, is it an awful story?
Well, listen, I've always said, without bad childhoods, we'd have no good music, you know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Just about all of them one way or another. You know?
Yeah. I mean, there are some exceptions, but yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's just the weird thing is that he's similar to